Day everyone. Today we're going to discuss the techniques in the creation of arts. Supposed to be, I had to discuss this last Monday, but because of the failure of our internet connection, which is the technical trend, I just recorded this video, this discussion, for you to understand our lesson for today, which is the techniques in the creation of arts. What do we mean by technique? Because last time we discussed about the materials used in contemporary art forms, right? We use different materials before or in the past, and there are also materials that we are using nowadays. And of course, there are also materials we used before and we are still using today, like Rondalia, Tungali, and a lot more. Now, this technique, we have to apply those materials and we will discuss the ways to combine those materials to create an art. After going through this module, you are expected to apply artistic skills and techniques in the process of creation. We had our activity. We had our activity last Monday, wherein you created your own version of art, which you are capable of, like music, literature, architecture, and sculpture. You can choose an art form from the options below, like song, dance, poem, painting, drawing, photograph, or sculpting. You can send a document, a file, a photo, video, or recordings. But take note, if you have chosen a recording or a video file, upload it on YouTube first before to attach its link. Kasi hindi kaya ng ating Google Classroom kasi limited lang yung capacity. Kaya link na lang i-send natin. I'm going to um, watch it or view it. Pero kapag ginawa mo painting, drawing, photography, sculpting, you can send me the file, photo, picture, or a document. Microsoft Word. Okay, now, what do you observe from the painting? Di ba para siyang 3D, parang real picture. But this is a painting. Now, what are the materials used here? Now, this is originated in 4000 BC from China, Asia. The base is paint, uniqueness, use of pigments mixed with water-based solvent. So, those are the materials used, not water-based solvent. The famous artist who created this art is Vincent van Gogh, J. W. Turner, and Thomas Gherkin. When we say technique, it is a process or method how we apply those materials to create an art. Now, ano yung mga ginamit dito? Here, in this painting strategy, things are connected to the base with the assistance of water. So, hindi na lang sinabi yung material, pero sinabi na rin kung paano ginamit yung base, yung paints through the assistance of water. So, that is one of the techniques used. The shades of the paints are water dissolvable. This is typically painted on paper, yet another base is utilized for this media, like wood, canvas, cowhide, and so forth. The strokes, gumamit siya ng different strokes. Strokes of shading, which are connected utilizing various sizes of the brush. So, another technique naman. color painting has a long custom which is well known for a very long time. This type of art is also called brush painting. So, ang ginamit ditong technique is brush painting. Next, ito, what do you observe? In dancing, we are using choreography. That is one of the technique in dancing, or also what we call dance technique. So, ginagamitan din natin siya ng technique para ma-convey natin yung message. Para magamit yung materials in order to give the theme, the message of our art. Like in dancing, diba? Here, what do we mean by technique? When we say technique, this is the basis of all fundamentals of dance, from holding your body correctly while performing. Yan. This is also a technique. Pwedeng, yung sabay-sabay, yung choreography, meron yung may mauna, may susunod, next, and yung last. Diba? There are different techniques, like in dancing. To execute skills properly in a routine, this strong technique extends across all areas of dance, regardless of the style of your routine. Whether it's jazz, hip-hop, or kick, there is always an element of technique that can be improved upon. So when we say technique, it is a process. Okay? In our contemporary art, it has been defined through a series of complex techniques. Okay. Paano kaya natin kung natutunan yung technique? Yung iba, meron yung ginagawang studies to adapt the technique. Pero kadalasan kasi dito sa ating mga self-oriented, natututunan na lang natin. Contemporary art has been defined through a series of complex techniques. However, many contemporary Filipino artists do not have formal studies in the fine arts. In fact, most of them are self-taught. Sinasabi ko sa inyo. They study on their own the skills in art making. Yun na lang. Kung passion natin ang pag-drawing, passion natin ang pag-painting, nasa sa atin na yun. Paano natin i-combine yung mga materials? Anong technique na gagamitin natin? Are we going to use different shapes? Diba? May mga abstract painting tayo. Gagamit pa tayo na different lines? Straight line, diagonal, horizontal, vertical, mga curves. Ganon din sa sculpture. Diba? Anong gagamitin natin? The use of different materials. Diba? Sa dance natin, in dance form of art, gumagamit tayo ng different choreography, technique. Ano pa bang mga art forms? Pag ginagamitan natin siya ng rhymes, yung paano yung formation ng mga words natin, may mga iba't iba tayong mga techniques na depende yun sa art form na pipiliin natin gagawin. There are diverse techniques for different art forms. Here are some examples. Here, in literature, there is the writing technique wherein the writer arranges words and thoughts to create moods or atmosphere para din ma-convey din nila yung message na ginawa nilang poem. Meron din tayong mga ginagamitan din natin siya ng mga malalalim na salita, diba? Mga figurative speech, tinatawag. In-evoke the feeling the artist wants to express. Kung anong gustong express na artist, dumedepende yun sa technique. Hindi lang sa material ginamit. Diba? Ang material lang naman in making a poem or literature form is kadalasan, di ba, na-discuss natin last time na iba typewriter, pen and paper, pencil literary works that are being produced usually mirror Philippine society. Ito yung kadalasan ng mga tema. It's about Philippine society and culture in a constantly changing environment. Yung mga tradition natin, diba? That is part of our culture. Mga society, there are different issues, diba? Like poverty, ito, yung pandemic na nararanasan natin, mga nangyayari sa mundo, different crimes, and also there are also positive which are happening here in our society. Like education, anong nadadala ng education sa atin. Kaya nga sa mga buwan ng wika, meron tayong mga different activities, essay making, na sinasabi mo not just the negative but also the positive which are happening here in our society. Mga culture natin, ano ba yung mga paniniwala? Meron mga different practices na ginagawa, di ba? Like festivals, which are most commonly religious motifs. Ano pa? Yung mga part ng culture natin. Di ba, naniniwala din tayo, mga superstitious belief. Nasa culture din natin yan. Contemporary Filipino writers put emphasis on fragmentation and paradox in the human experience, which results in disorientation or confusion. Yan, yung mga readers natin, minsan, they're confused, they are disoriented because of the emphasis which the writer used. Not in literature. In theater, the manner in using facial expressions, gestures, and body movements are used to portray a character is called acting technique. Sa mga teatro natin. Hindi lang sa teatro ginagawa yung acting technique, diba? Sa mga movies, gumagawa tayo ng mga movies, mga artista, they are using acting techniques, using their facial expression. Kung masaya, galit, diba? Ang ginagamit din kadalasan ng technique yung kung ano yung rule nila, talagang ina-act nila, nasa isip na nila. Halimbawa, ang rule niya doon ay nahihirap sa mga anak. Diba, umiiyak siya. Okay. Hindi naman yung nasa isip niya, yung mga paghihirap na naranasan niya sa buhay niya, hindi naman niya iniisip or ina-apply yung mga karanasan ng iba, kundi yung role niya mismo. Diba? Kunwari, nanganganak siya. So, pinuportray na talaga nanganganak siya. So, may papakita niya yung correct facial expression. Mga gestures, yung mga body movements nila. Diba? Hindi mo naman sinabi, kung umaarte ka, kaibigan ko laroon. Sabi niya, iba yung direction na tinuro niya. Diba? Dumidepende yun sa gestures and body movements na pinuportray ng character. It is also called acting technique. Also, we have the dance technique. Yung kanina, sinabit ko picture kanina, gumamit sila ng different dance technique. Or the way of moving one's body to express an emotion or desired state or condition. Hip-hop, may iba't ibang mga sayaw. Ano ba yung, I forgot kung anong tawag, pagsasayaw ng, parang mag-partner, halimbawa yung El Gama Pinumbra, diba? May gumamit sila ng dance technique doon. Gumagamit sila ng mga shadows. Next, there are also what we call cinematic technique that vary from its screenplay, physical contrast, I should say, positioning or blockings and timing. O, yung timing na yan, importante din ito sa pagsasayaw, dance technique. Okay, here, to sum it up, when we say technique, it is the creation of arts can be defined as a process or method that makes use of materials on hand. It can also be defined as the skill. Kung inig na talaga yun sa'yo, that is the skill. That is a skill of the artist to execute his or her work to produce the effect he or she wants to achieve. As discussed in the previous slide, material is used to create an artwork, right? While technique is the method on putting together, combine the materials in an organized manner is technique. And in contemporary art, it has been defined through the series of complex techniques. We discussed today the different techniques na ginagamit natin. Ilan lang ito, right? Like writing technique, acting technique, dance technique, and cinematic technique. Those are just few of the techniques. Yan lang yung mga na-discuss natin, mga example. For your activity today, you're going to make or create an art in activity one, right? You created this. Now, describe your work by stating the materials and techniques that you use in creating that art, right? Sabihin mo lang kung ano yung mga materials na ginamit, then the technique, okay? Make it in a paragraph. Paragraphs. These are my references. Also, our examination will be next week. So you have to review. You still have a lot of time to review. So no more excuses para magkaroon tayo ng mababang scores. All the cover of our exam are from week 8 to week 13. Okay, pwede nyo basahin yung mga module, balikan yung mga activities, kasi baka yung iba doon, galing doon. Then, review lang, okay? And, in addition, dahil malapit na nga yung exam, para makapaghayahin na tayo, ma-enjoy natin yung ating division, gawin na natin ng maaga yung mga activities. Yung mga hindi pa natin natatapos, kung meron pa sa inyo na may kulang pa, you can start as early as possible and finish it sana before exam. I'll check it before exam. Para after ng exam, wala na tayong problemahin. And ganun din, makumpute ko na and makuha nyo na yung grades. Yes. Okay, I'm going to open the book. So, madali lang naman. Yung exam natin. It's 50 items. 2 points each, okay? So, correct minus 1. Wrong minus correct, I should say. Mali ka, babawas sa tamang sagot. Hihirapan tayo pa. So, yun lang yung discussion natin for today. Lately lang. Lately lang yung discussion natin kasi it's more about the techniques lang naman. We did some of it. Please comply, okay? Always open our G Suite kapag may mga new messages tayo doon. And the Google Classroom, check nyo rin doon. Now, this will be the last topic that we have. The techniques are in the creation of art. At yun na din yung huling activity natin. After nun, after na magawa nyo na lahat ng mga activities, doon na nagtatapos. And I congratulate you in advance. So, doon lang tayo yung natatapos. Goodbye everyone and God bless.